What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Millzy, back with Hometown Commander. Today we're doing our first episode of Thursday Night Brawl, the show where we play Brawl together. The goal of this series is to eventually do this as a live stream, but for the moment in time, I'm going to be doing this pre-recorded and having a ton of fun along the way. So if you have any questions or comments on the decks I'm playing today, throw it down in the description. Let's have some conversation. Like and subscribe. But let's get into it. Today for Thursday Night Brawl, and every week for Thursday Night Brawl, we're going to pick one Brawl deck and one Historic Brawl deck and spend about 30 minutes each playing them. Eventually, when this becomes a longer live stream product, we will play for longer than that. For this pre-recorded video, we're going to play about 30 minutes each. And today, I thought, why not have some fun with trying to pick the same or similar commander for Brawl and Historic Brawl, and I went with Tatyova. So we have the old Tatyova from the original Dominaria. We're going to play that one in Historic Brawl, and then we have the new Tatyova for Standard Brawl. So let's start with Standard Brawl. It's definitely my least favorite of the two formats in the moment, so let's jump on into it. Tatyova says that land creatures we control have flying, and then whenever a land enters the battlefield under our control, if we control 7 or more lands, up to one target land we control becomes a 3/3 elemental with haste. It's still a land. So the goal of this deck is to ramp up in mana, get lots of lands, and get them in the air. The deck, I think, really shines off of the new, like, Awaken the Woods and just being able to get us, a ton of lands and a ton of lands quickly. We have things like Topiary Stomper, which can get us lands, but I'm just to try out the new Titania as well, see if it can get us some good value, see if it can, if we can meld it. Is it possible to meld it in Standard Brawl? We're going to find out, but we're playing just a lot of good green stuff, and then playing things like Defiler of Vigor and Titan of Industry up on the top end, so that way we have lots of big things to play and use when we get up there. So let's do it. Tatyova, Standard Brawl. Let's see if we can make something happen. Standard Brawl is always a mixed bag for me. I enjoy it, but sometimes it's just very dependent on the matchups and what you play against. All right, looks like we're playing up against Sten, Paranoid Partisan. Sten is an interesting idea for a Standard Brawl commander. I don't know if this is is this going to be, it's probably a type deck of some sort. Is it artifacts? Is it enchantments? I guess we don't really know, but let's find out. All right, turn 1, we'll put the Tangled Islet in tapped. Hoping we draw ourselves another lane here, where we're about to find out what type of deck we're playing against. Enchantments. Put the Dreamroot Cascade in tapped. I was kind of hoping we would hit another land. We're playing a fairly high number of lands. Oh, that's probably not good. Guess let's get Ledger Shredder in. Help us discard some cards, draw some cards. I have a gut feeling we're in for a great time. Well, that certainly didn't go well for us. No draw there on any of the spells. Let's see, we draw Spell Pierce. I guess we'll get Shigeki down. It's something we can return back to our hand and potentially get a land from it. We are in a tough spot now. I did not expect to not hit a land off the first 2 cards. And we are, oh wow, they are going deep on Sten. This is bad. All right, we see the Cabaret Courtyard. Let's pitch Glorious Sunrise. Oh boy. It almost doesn't make much sense for me to block. Oh, wow. That is a 5/3 in the air. Oh, I don't know. Part of me says to take it, get a little bit further. Cabaret Courtyard. This is going to go get us a forest. I guess Gala. Oh, man, I feel like this game is probably over. But we can block with Ledger Shredder. So we're not dead yet. Even though the Sten's just going to get bigger and bigger, I think this is the turn I block with it. Okay. Well, that decision was just made for me. Yeah, we're going to have to block now, unfortunately. I don't think I can survive letting it hit me too many more times. Okay, the question becomes, what is our move? Topiary Stomper, I guess. Maybe go into Awaken the Woods next turn. My thought process on that playline there is to do this Awaken the Woods next turn. But I have a feeling we're just in a ton of trouble now. Thirst for Knowledge. As soon as this gets 3 counters on it, as soon as this gets more counters on it, it can attack. I have no way to block Sten at the moment. Ooh, does that copied Catilda go on the real one? Oh, can't because it's legendary. Oh, is that in the air too? Oh, we're in trouble. Oh, we survived by 1 point. I don't know that there's anything I can do to really come out of this. Yeah, I think unfortunately we just kind of got priced out of this game. Wow. I did not expect a Sten Vesuvian Diplomancy deck today, but hey, that's okay. We'll just play some things for the purposes of our quests, and we'll, I think, probably just scoop this one up. Wow, that was interesting. I don't know if did anybody else have Sten Vesuvian Diplomancy on their bingo card? Because I didn't. But okay, well, we certainly learned our lesson there. Maybe I pitched the hand. Maybe I pitched that hand and try to get something that has more removal in it. I don't know. I thought the hand was decent, but I guess we just learned that Sten Vesuvian Diplomancy is the I guess that's the answer. Okay, well, hey, I mean, it definitely seems interesting. I'd be willing to try it at some point. The question just becomes, how often do you see the Diplomancy? Is that a deck you just mulligan until you see the Diplomancy? You know what I mean? Like, how often are you actually seeing the Diplomancy and getting that strategy to work? But, hey, I guess people have built decks on worse, so... Oh, we've got to turn to Arcane Signet into into Tatyova or into a lot of other things. We see a Thornwood Falls tapped. Let's get into this Tatyova. We could also do even Loam Speaker. I mean, if we draw a land, we could get Ledger Shredder and Loam Speaker down. Probably Ledger Shredder first, because then we could pitch if we wanted to. We do not, so we'll just play the Loam Speaker. All right, Shauna life gain deck. So this is going to be interesting. Draw 2, gain 2, draw 2, pitch 2. Interesting. Love Faithful Mending. It's never really found its way into Commander for me because there's just better draw cards, especially for 1 blue mana. But all right, they pitch Selfless Samurai and Depopulate. Depopulate, a great card, great board wipe. We see Titania's Command, a new card. Getting the Selfless Samurai back. And it can attack or block for as long as they control the specialist. Interesting. Okay, I don't know that I've seen Extraction Specialist all that much, so that definitely intrigues me. All right, we see our land, and I think, do we get Tatyova down? We have the mana for the Slip Out the Back to protect it, and I guess next turn we, Besage You? Get those forests, get them into our hand, get this moving. This on the backside turns into a star where star's the amount of lands we control, which is pretty cool. All right, we see Shauna come down. I guess we have a cheeky slip out the black like block. We could block and then bounce it. I'm intrigued to see they took a look there at Tatyova. Okay, so we'll play the Maestro's Theater. See, I really want to dump this Besage down now. I guess the question becomes, is Tatyova worth losing? Because if I... Oh, well, no, that's right. Loam Speaker can tap. I was going to say, because if I do this and they respond with a bounce or removal or anything, we're just going to lose it. But that's right. This can tap for blue. So we'll keep Loam Speaker up. Other cool part about Loam Speaker is it can make lands into creatures by tapping. So that's going to work well for us in the next couple turns, as we can use that to make some of our things into creatures as well. Beseiju. Next turn can put Theater back on top. We're not playing, I guess, a ton of basic islands. Might be something to reconsider. If they gain the 3 life... Okay, I was going to say, if they gain the 3 life, do we consider trying to get rid of Shauna? But any chance they attack here? They attack with Shauna. I think I'm going to block and slip out the back. It stops the damage. It has lifelink. It stops the damage from happening. And no life's going to be gained there. So the cool part about that is that they won't actually get any life there. Okay, I want to look at Titania's command. All right, so exile target player's graveyard, search your library for up to 2 lands, put them on a battlefield tapped, 2/2 bears, and 2/2 counters. I think I'm going to do this. I want the lands and the bears, I think. Oh, I don't think we need to be in full control. Oh, it's 2 of any land. Oh my gosh, I did not read that, guys. Okay, so we're going to get Argoth, and we're going to get Command Tower. And we're going to get the bears. Let's make this forest into a land, I guess. And let's make this island into a land, or a creature. It doesn't particularly matter because they can't... They can't attack this turn, but they most certainly can in the future. Okay, so I guess the bad part here could be that these now could be board wiped, which is something we have to, I guess, keep in the back of our mind. But we have the Splendid Wreck, so we can get them back if they do wipe them. I'm kind of surprised they didn't take the life. I'm kind of interested to try double block. I expect them to have something. I don't know that they would take this attack if they didn't have anything. They don't have anything. I guess maybe they were going to plan to board wipe anyway, and they figured why not take the attack? Because otherwise, why take that attack there with no protection? Yeah, see, that's what I thought. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, sure. Okay, so we get that. We get the land in. Do we just Splendid Wreck? We'll get Tatyova back down, I guess. Okay. Okay, Wash Away makes sense. We'll just get the Ledger Shredder down. And then next turn we can Splendid Wreck and we'll get 2 lands back. All right, so the buy invitation only makes a ton of sense. What are we taking? Beseiju? Okay. What, 3 life again? Or are they going to make one of their lands tap for mana? What do we do here? I can see Shigeki working, getting back 3 cards. 6, 7, 8. It doesn't get back any. Well, here's the bad part. Do we pitch the Broker's Hideout, I guess? Because it comes back off of the... Oh, okay. So if I Shigeki for 3, I can get back the command, the Loam Speaker, and the Slip Out the Back. And then... plan to Splendid Wreck next turn. Bring everything back that way. Okay, so that sets us back up. We have Titania's Command again. This can get rid of some things. It can also do some good things for us. I kind of like just going and getting 2 more lands. Ooh, I guess the forest. If we're going to Splendid Reclamation anyway, why not feed another land in for it? All right, now we find ourselves in another interesting scenario where Shauna, I guess, what are they? They can't pay the... Oh, they only gained 1. Okay, so they can't. They don't have the 2 mana to pay for. Okay. Is the plan still Splendid Reclamation? Brings back 4 lands, but it's 4 mana. We cannot get it out. If I do this, and I guess I could gain the 3 life. I could also Titania's Command. I would much rather Tatyova be out to Titania's Command. Discard a non-land card. I like Slip Out the Back, though. It can protect. I guess I'll pitch the Coast, because we can get the Coast back. Start a combat. I can't do the draw. So let's just gain 3 life. And then we'll pass it up. All right, so we have Slip Out of the Back to protect either our creatures. We have the Wash Away, which, again, I don't really expect Wash Away to do us much good, but I guess if they're only planned as the Faithful Mending, then we can do the Wash Away, right, and stop that plan from happening. So there are a couple play lines here that we can go through. All right, well, that clearly fixes my what do I do here in this scenario. I mean, I don't know that I love Leisure Shredder that much, but why let them kill one of my creatures for free if we can protect it? So we've got a big attack here. Let me see. Tatyova says, whenever a land enters the battlefield, if you control 7 or more lands, up to 1 target land you control becomes a creature until end of turn. I really wish I had like a... Man, if only Scoot Swarm was legal in Historic Brawl, or in Standard Brawl. Ouch. Yeah, we got to take that hit. I can make something into a land with Loam Speaker, but I don't know that it's worth trading. What a time to draw like Titania. What a time to draw like Titania and just get a bunch of value off that, because we could meld it at the moment on our next turn. Okay. If I get this in this turn, play the Dreamroot Cascade, make this into a creature, I can still Wash Away. Let's gain 3 life. I think we set up for the Splendid Reclamation play next turn. I think that's our big plan here. 1, 2, 5 come back. We can make 3 into lands. Sarah Paragon doesn't seem like the thing that I'm worried about there. Yeah, I think I'm content to see what we draw. We see Greater Tanuki. We can pitch that. It feels weird to wash away this, but I guess I will. I guess that opens me up to a giant attack. But I don't want them bringing something back. They've almost completely run themselves out of mana. I guess Catilda can tap for mana. Shauna can tap for mana. Oh, I guess most of their things can tap for mana. So I guess I'm willing to let them attack, especially because it gives them less mana to... Do I try to block Shauna with Ledger Shredder? I think we try. I have a gut feeling they have protection for Shauna, but let's find out. Now's the time to do it, right? We're about to take we're about to take a giant turn where we put a bunch of things in. Why not try, force them to have something? Now they can't pay for, well, I guess they couldn't pay for it anyway. They can't pay for Shauna anyway. So I just forced them to be able to pay a little bit less for Shauna. Or I guess they wouldn't if it was 1 mana, right? So, wait, what? Oh, okay, so we actually stopped them from... Oh, if only we had a haste enabler. Okay, we're going to Splendid Wreck. Make Dreamer Cascade into a creature. Make this Forest into a creature. Make Argoth into a creature. Make... Only bad part is we can't... Does it untap them? Oh, okay. I was going to say if it untapped them, like, gosh, we're in the zone. Are we taking a giant swing here? No. I think we're doing this. Man, we are exactly 1 board wipe away from being dead. But I think this is the best plan I can think of, because if they cannot wipe this board, they're dead, right? If they can wipe the board, okay. There's not much we can do about that. But if they cannot wipe this board, we are in a very good scenario. Especially because all of those are in the air. Touch the Spirit Realm on what? Tatyova? Okay. Well, let me think about this. What are the chances we hit anything that gets rid of that? Whereas we can just recast her and get that flying ability back, right? Yeah. We just recast her, right? And get the ability back. They only have 1 flyer. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the more they put into this attack, the worse it's going to be for blocking. Right? So I feel like we need to just hold the faith. No, we need to just... We have 2 bears on the ground. Do they pay for Shauna? Nope, but they get the counter. Okay. So if I do this, all of these go back in the air. I can put a counter. I can give everything +1/+1 and trample. Do we think that's enough? 5, 10, 16, 20. 5, 10, 16, 22, 28, 35, 41 with trample. All of their things have death touch at the moment. They only have 2 flyers, though. They demolish me on the backswing, don't they? Do these have vigilance? They do not. Is this swing worth it? Let's do it. I think we have to. I mean, I think we're dead either way. I mean, we sit back and try to block and wait for them to find something. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 41, 46. So they are not dead, but they may not know that. And that's what I'm going to count on. I'm going to count on them not knowing that they're dead. Well, let's see if we can live to fight another day. My hope is that they just start blocking, but they could be smart in realizing that I don't have lethal. Because I am 4, 6, 10, 12, 16, 20, 23, 26, 28. I am dead. I am very dead on the back. That is all they block with. Ouch. Okay. Oh, I could have killed Shauna, but it doesn't really matter. Man. Okay, 5, 9, 13, 15, 19, 23, and I can block with Tatyova. So we're not dead. We're also just not in a good position, but we're not dead. I think they're now in the same position, right? If they fully swing out, they can't block any of these creatures. Now, they'll lose flying if I block with Tatyova, but it's fine with me. Okay, putting more creatures in on the ground. Man, what I wouldn't give for a... What I wouldn't give for an overrun effect in Standard. I guess we can, again, Glorious Sunrise again, give everything trample again. The only thing that has lifelink right now is this and this. Oh, I could also Roaring Earth on my turn. Make another land into a creature. I just wish these had... I wish these awakened... I mean, I know why they don't have haste. It'd be super broken if they did, but... Okay, they took the life, which... Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, my guess is... Oh, +1/+1 and trample. Oh, no. 5, 10, 13, 18, 23, 27, 30 with trample. Oh, what a bummer. Yeah, and that does it. Man, what a bummer. Yep, they have it, unfortunately. Man, that's killer. You didn't need to... Okay. Yeah, and yeah. What a bummer. Okay. Well, we tried our best. Probably lost some of the sequencing there in the middle. Maybe we tried to go a little too deep into our Splendid Reclamation plan. But all right, let's switch over to Historic Brawl. Let's play some Tatyova in Historic Brawl. So different Tatyova, 5 mana. For what, a 3, 2, 3, 3, 4? And every time a land comes into the battlefield, we gain a life and draw cards. So now we're looking to get her out before we start playing our lands so that we can get those triggers. Historic Brawl, of course, completely different format. We get access to completely different things. Niv Mizzet Perun. All right, haven't played against a Niv Mizzet deck in a long time, either in Commander or in this. We go first. We have a turn 3 Azusa. Turn 2 Druid class. So, okay. Call me interested for sure. We'll play the Druid class. So we're going to gain another life every time a land comes in. I see Young Pyromancer. Let's play Azusa and get this land in. Hopefully next turn we can... I'd love to get another land and put Tatyova down, but this is the awkward thing with landfall decks sometimes, where do you run Tatyova out and risk it getting killed, or do you put the Quandrix Cultivator down? It's a decent blocker, gets me another land, and then pushes me into that. That is the question. I think I'm going to Cultivator. just scry to draw. So we do have the River's Rebuke play if they get a little bit too set up. Okay, I guess I could have saved that till next turn with the Tatyova, but I'd like to keep River's Rebuke open and available. Yeah, I mean, I'll block one of them. I don't know if they have anything. Well, actually, they just have like a Furious Strike. Interesting. Opens up the trade. That's fine. They paid 4 mana to trade a 1/1 with my Cultivator. All right, we'll get this down. Get the land in. Gain 2 life. Draw a card. All right, we've got River's Rebuke. We've got Ashaya. Cool out here is Ashaya should count as a land when it comes in. Interesting. Yeah, we'll move it to the commands up. Yeah, I have no problem. Again, if they're going to waste something to trade, then that's fine. Jawari's Disruption. I guess if they have a counterspell here, I'm going to get mega punished, but... Yep, and we get mega punished. Just put the storefront down, gain a life. Go get an island, gain a life. Jeez. So we probably, I guess we probably could have not played Tatyova over there. But I feel like what's the plan if we don't? Just level up the class into infinity? All right, let's make this an 8/8 and go swinging. Is it for the whole time? It is for the whole time. So I'm okay with that. Now they have to kill it. It's a 9/9. Next turn we can put down a Ashaya. We get River's Rebuke if they go in deep for Niv Mizzet here. They go for Jimmy G. Well, the good part here is we can bait out this Jin-Gitaxias by playing Arcane Signet first. That's going to stop them from... That's going to automatically counter this. And then we can River's Rebuke and make them pick up everything. And go swanging. All right, well, that worked out in my favor. That worked out. So now they have to decide, do they spend their whole turn putting Jin-Gitaxias back down? Ashaya can come back in, doesn't get countered by... Do they have a 1-mana spell? It says non-land. Which is going to help me a lot. Okay, what would you like to return? The Druid class? No. Yeah, I don't think they realized it said non-land, so we're going to definitely enjoy our time. Ooh, Uro. Uro seems fun. Let's do it. We'll gain some life in the process. Go swinging for 12. They take the 12. Cool part here is Ashaya's now a land, so they cannot bounce it with Hullbreaker Horror. I don't know if they realize that or not. Are they? They may not. They may currently be in the process of realizing that they cannot bounce Ashaya. They can double block. They do have blocks now, though. They do have 2 creatures to block. Still choosing to not bounce the Druid class. Maybe it's because they realize that I can just dump the Druid class back in. Okay. Do we escape the Uro back? Let's do that. Let's escape Uro back. Submit 5. Come in, gain some life. Tireless Provisioner. Let's make a treasure and gain a life. Let's... we can't Augur of Autumn. We don't have enough. Okay. Well, let's go swinging. They can double block if they want to. They can single block each if they want to. Okay. Well, let's get rid of the Hullbreaker Horror because I care a lot more about the Hullbreaker Horror than I do about that 8/8. Again, the killer part about Cure there is it says non-land, so unfortunately all of my creatures are lands at the moment. We see Niv Mizzet. So the Cure, the Kraken can attack, but they're opening themselves up to a pretty bad attack on the backswing if they do. Okay. So we know what's in their hand. We could do this in Taupe Stomper. We could also just Taupe Stomper. We can Augur of Autumn. Let's go swinging. They can block. Yep, and they block when they miss it. Okay. So what do they take? A Shia? Okay. Okay. We see Jimmy G come down. Do they swing? They don't swing. I guess I should have done Tatyova first. Man, that stinks. I should have done that first. That was dumb. We'll get Brainstorm countered. That was a really dumb move on my part. I should have put down Tatyova first, and then we could have potentially drawn into something. I don't know what we would have drawn into, but maybe we could have drawn in something that would have helped there. I can play 2 lands per turn at the moment, but man, that's a bummer. I should have put down Tatyova first. I've lost my ability to use a Shia for mana, and oh man, that steal really hurt. I mean, they can't full swing, right? They could partially swing, but again, I just let it go through, and then they have a tough... I mean, I have a lethal attack at the moment. Oh, I don't, because of a Augur Bottom. The question is, what is worth doing? They have 10 mana. They can put back down the Niv Mizzet. Jinga taxes will double the first... Will double the first spell they play. Hoping we can see something. Hoping we get something good off the top with this Augur Bottom. So I'm kind of intrigued as to what's taking them so long. I mean, I think their obvious play, at least for me, would be attack, right? You force me to block. I'm gonna have to. I mean, I guess I don't have to. So maybe you have to. I guess that's a fair point. I don't have to block. So maybe you have to put something else on the board to pressure me to want to do something to your side of the board. At this point, I'm probably just going to continue to gain life. Argoth is going to get me tokens. I can't do it this turn. I could have if I still had a Shia. I'm very intrigued as to what, I mean, my thought process is dump Niv Mizzet down and pass. I can't attack through. You force me to have to find value in anything. And then all you have to do is, start pinging out my creatures or doing something like that. I'm intrigued as to what they have in their hand. And they scoop it up because they timed out. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'll take it. That's definitely an interesting game. I feel like once they took our Ashaya, we were in a world of hurt. So I'm very intrigued to see what else they had there. But we moved through it. Tatyova gets the win. I'll be honest, I've played a couple Tatyova games with that deck. It's a deck I've been, keeping around and enjoying. And I have to say that's one of the more definitive wins I've seen. That's one of our close. I'm sorry. That's one of the best wins I've seen so far, because a lot of the times you're just white knuckling for value the entire time. Okay. The only bad part here is Concordant Crossroads doesn't come down. Will it come down for blue? And we'll just take the Scry one, Broker's Hideout. Yeah, sure. Because that'll allow us to get another landfall trigger when we get far enough in. I love the Uro play here. Get ahead on a land. Scarab God. So we gotta go. They got zombies. Okay. We have the River's Rebuke, which is cool. That's going to potentially help us out. I'd like to save the hideout and the courtyard for when Tatyova is out, just to get the double triggers. I have no idea what's in the Ominous Traveler's spell book. But we shall find out. Let's get Uro down. Gain the 3 life. Put a forest down. We have Ren in 7, which is cool. That's going to help get us a big blocker if it comes down to that. I have no idea what's in the Ominous Traveler's spellbook. Interesting. Okay. The answer to our question previously was interesting things are in the Ominous Traveler's spellbook. All right, let's make ourselves a Treefolk token. I don't see anything that can come down and do a ton of hurt to me right away. Okay, Infernal Grasp on the token. Kind of stinks, but that's okay. Let's get the hideout in. Oh, and they scoop it up. Okay, we'll take it. Yeah, the goal there was get another land, pass it back. Tatyova probably, I would have thought Tatyova would have been at risk there, being they were in black, but I guess not. They decide that it's a little too much, and they scoop it up. Okay, well, I don't necessarily love that win, but we'll take it, right? I would have much rather seen that game go a little further. Maybe they realized they only had that Infernal Grasp, and they just grasped the wrong thing. I guess that's more than possible. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of Tatyova, whether the Standard Brawl version or our Historic Brawl version. I just realized I did not show the deck list for this Historic Brawl one, so I will do that after this game. If this is our last game, then we'll just end with that. If not, I will just show it. No green source. The opposite problem, all green sources, and I need a blue source for Quandrix. Okay, well, I can't really justify scooping this one or throwing that to the bottom. We do have Augur of Autumn, which could, play lands off the top. Oh, there we go. There's a blue source. So we go, what? Augur of Autumn next turn into... I want to go into Quandrix Collector because you still got a ramp. That's the odd thing, I think, about Arena Historic Brawl versus... Commander to me is, in Commander, I have access to 30 ramp spells. So, I mean, you can afford to slam an extra one down because you have so many more of them. The odd thing here is we don't have a ton of ramp in Historic Brawl. Not as much as you'd expect. So you kind of want to use them, but at the same time you want to save them and get the true value. Like here, arguments would say save the cultivator until after Tatyova comes down, but I think we need to, one, find out if they have any counter spells, if they choose to do it on this, which they do, and two, push ourselves forward another land so we can try doing even more. I mean, that's great for us because now maybe Nissa gets out with. So now Nissa can get out. We have no flying blocker for this Haughty Djinn, but I kind of want to do this now that we know we have the safe room to do this. Let's do it. Oh, Time Warp on the top kind of stinks. That would have been great to have. We see yeah, I can't do that. I can't risk them double blocking. The Harrow's kind of cool. That's kind of interesting. We have Otawara if this Haughty Djinn gets too big. We have the Otawara for the Spirit as well if the Spirit gets too big. So Tatyova gets. Let's go back to hand. There's no point in spending even more for Tatyova. Yeah. I'd rather save Augur of Autumn to block the Spirit the next turn when it gets even bigger. Do I need to Otawara this Spirit? The problem is we're generating value. I don't even know if I can stop this. As it sits, I don't know if I can stop this value train. I think Teferi might not be a bad Planeswalker for this deck, considering how many cards Tatyova draws. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, we just straight lost. Wow. Okay. Jeez. Okay, yeah. Teferi, Eternal Pilgrim's pretty good. I think that's something we consider throwing into this deck. All right, so let's take a quick look at this Tatyova deck because I realized I did not show it off. And I'm half interested in trying Teferi out in this. Be half interested in trying the other Teferi out as well. But let's see if we can fit this new one in here. Because I just realized the Teferi Temporal Pilgrim actually does a lot of good. So a lot of ramp on the low end, not too many things up on the high end, but we want to, we got a couple finishers up on the top end, a couple big cards just to try to end the game. I'm actually not sure. I like Seagate Restoration. Reverse Rebuke's has already put in some good things for me. Let's try taking the Rejuvenator out. We'll craft Teferi. And let's keep rocking. All right, so that was the deck list. It's a fun deck. I enjoy it. I think it's interesting. I've been really wanting to try to build it in Commander and see how much actual different it is when you get some of the training wheels taken off. I feel like in a lot of ways, Historic Brawl probably puts training wheels on a lot of decks in a lot of ways because of the card pools. So that could be fun. I think this is an interesting deck because there's a lot of play lines that really help out. Okay, so we've got a Wake in the Woods, which intrigues me. Four lands if we put Disruption down for the fourth land. So, okay, we got our fifth land there in Reliquary Tower, which is going to be good because that'll stop us from overdrawing. I'd like to put this down and at least keep mana open for the Dwari. I don't see any reason why not. I mean, we can just play it as a land, worst case scenario, or we can try to Jwari something we think is important because we have the counterspell there. I see Tireless Provisioner being our play next turn. But I have a gut feeling that it might get countered, but let's find out. I mean, I'd much rather Provisioner get countered than Tatyova. So, I mean, I guess they could have a bounce spell. We know for sure that this is stopping it as well, where that's going to be stopping it. So maybe they don't have one and it's just the treasure map ability that's creating the stop and tricking me into thinking they have one. So next turn, if I Lotus Cobra, play a land, that would get me 1, 2, 3 floating mana. Would not be enough for Quandrix Cultivator. 5 open mana, or 4 open mana just scares me. So if I Terramorphic Expanse, get the treasure, just try to Lotus Cobra, see if they do anything with it. Because I could sack the Terramorphic Expanse, get another treasure, and get Quandrix Cultivator out, get me another land, net another treasure, and set myself up into the next turn. I'm just intrigued to see what. All right, well, let's sack the Expanse. Go get a green. Looks like it's going to be important, so let's go get a forest. This nets me another treasure, and let's float a blue, I guess. I really want to do this. I guess arguments would say keep Beseiju up as well. I probably should have attacked with the Provisioner, but that's okay. We keep Jwari up. We keep Beseiju up. I think this makes a lot of sense. I could even Beseiju in response to that treasure map going off if we're that worried about them drawing off the I'm gonna try it. Just try to get it out of the way. This seems like a really hardcore treasure map play, but the thing is that flips over and he can sack those treasures or they can sack those treasures to draw cards. And I feel like that becomes important because they're not doing this on their upkeep. I guess they could be doing it just to scry, right? They could be doing it just to see what they draw. But I guess for me, they're doing it because they're trying to set that up, at least in my mind. So that's why I took the stance there that I did. So if not, that's fine. If I Beseiju the treasure map for the sole purpose of shutting down something they never were going to do, I guess I'm fine with that. But at the best case scenario, it stops them from getting the 3 treasures that they then had this turn to do something with. I really, really, really want to get Tatyova down this turn. If I Tatyova, sacking the treasure, put this down on the backside, 2 mana doesn't get me anywhere. All right, so I'm intrigued to see what their game plan is. 5 mana open for a Gilded Lotus. I thought Gilded Lotus came in tap. That is Nyx Lotus that I'm thinking of. And they play with Fire the Provisioner. Okay. What a turn. Jwari in on the backside. Net a green. Keep this open for wash away, I guess. I feel like I just need to continue to set up just a teeny bit more. And now I have the option to cleave wash away as well. So we'll attack. guess the other argument there is put Tatyova down, then put the Jwari down, but then that doesn't leave open. I still feel like that doesn't leave open enough mana. I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm over prioritizing this wash away, but I feel like it'll end up being important. I also feel like I'm probably just sitting here over prioritizing a counter spell. But if their only plan this turn is to go into Nip Mizzet, then I feel like wash away is worth it. The other good part about wash away is if they truly decide to counter my counter of wash away, then I think it's... Yes. Oh, it can't be... Oh. Okay, well, that learned my lesson. Well, I feel like that was a really dumb decision. I didn't even read his commander. So that just teaches me that... that just teaches me that I need to pay more attention to... Well, let's do this now. Sacrifice this. Oh, well, that didn't work because it just starts the thing again. Oh, okay. Well, okay. I lost the Cobra anyway. Does the tome actually help you here? Because I was going to say, it's what's holding up the trigger. All right, we'll try to play the Provisioner. And I don't know what my plan is now. I can't believe... Oh, man. That's so dumb. I didn't even read Niv Mizzet. I feel like we could have saved that counterspell for something. But, cool. Cool. I really feel like we could have saved that counterspell for something more important than something that couldn't be countered. It makes me feel really dumb now. Oh, gosh. Yeah. I can awaken the woods for like 5, but does it really change the outcome? He just got so much open. They've just got so much open mana now. Well, if they counter the Seagate Restoration, then we have a problem. That if not, then this might be our way back into it. They have to have a counter spell, right? Right, guys? They have to have one. Yep, man, that's going to do it. Man, what a killer game. Okay, if I leave the wash away up there, does it change the outcome? I guess probably. There probably was something I could have done to stop, maybe something in the future. Wouldn't have stopped the Seagate Restoration, though, from getting countered. But maybe the wash away would have found something else to counter. So, okay. I mean, that teaches us our lesson. We go first. Let's forest in. We will lair the Hydra on turn 2. Go get the dual land. Okay, let's into the north. We should be able to go get... let's go get Rimewood Falls. Pardon me. I guess arguably there we could have gone and gotten Faceless Haven as well. Didn't think about that. I was more worried about getting... Thoughtseize. What are they going to Thoughtseize? Veil of Summer wouldn't be bad. Jwari wouldn't be bad. Nissa wouldn't be bad. Nissa's probably the worst card that they can take for me. They take the Jwari. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I mean, it was another land, which was the only good part about it. We'll get down Augur of Autumn. We see a Zuza on top. Okay. Well, we have the Veil of Summer now, so that's going to stop them from doing anything else to us. Or targeting us with anything, I apologize. I was going to say they can just power up the... They can just power up the sleeper if they want to. All right, that should get Ebon Legion a... We'll just Veil of Summer here, draw the card. We see a Thornwood Falls on top. Okay. Let's do this. If I Zeusa... I guess let's do that. Then we can, oh gosh, mass manipulation. I don't have 4 blue. I only have 3 blue. Storefront would go get an island, but it would come in tapped. Yeah, that checks out. Well, that's going to make mass manipulation even harder to cast. I only have 2 blue sources now, 3, 4. All 3 at me. I guess they're going for the draw card on all 3 of them. I think I'm fine with that. Do they have any mana? Did they get into a swamp? If not, that's killer. Okay, yeah, that's what I expected. Dark Ritual. I guess I could untap Thornwood Falls. Is this what we set up? 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like Tatyova probably just gets killed here. But we can mass manip for 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. We could mass manip for 2 at the moment if nothing else changes. What do we take? I guess Gix and the Knight. Part of me wants to just not block. But I gotta put something in front of something. Let's do that. At least stop them from drawing. I mean, we know that they're gonna... Oh, okay. Puts them down to a single black, so unless they drop another land, there's not much they can do. Okay, let's see. What is the plan here? What, Gix in the Ebon Legion? We'll untap this forest. Well, emergent sequence. Is this going to get me another land? Draw me what? 1 card? Otawara for turn. All right, and then Enray's next turn should be darn close to ending it. All right, so that mass manipulation came in, man, that came in clutch for really helping us because okay, so they can kill. Walk the plank is 2. So I guess they could kill a land. They could remove 2 counters from Nissa because Nissa can ultimate next turn, but they can also attack Nissa. I don't think I've ever seen Cemetery Desecrator before. How are they getting 4? Okay. Oh, it's from any graveyard. Ah, that's why. Okay, I was like, how? It's because it's any card from a graveyard. That makes more sense. Does River's Rebuke end at 3, 6, 9, 10, 13, 16, and we can untap a creature for 19. So let's do that. Untap a land. And we hit through for game. Man, that worked out really well. Sweet. All right, man, mass manipulation coming in clutch. All right, guys, that does it for this episode of Thursday Night Brawl. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.